Hello everyone. Today we're going to be looking at the pet cosmetics that were added to UOAlive. This is a feature showcase. Okay, so as you can see, we have a couple pets lined up here. First, what is a pet cosmetic? It allows you to take your pet and change the way that it looks to be that of another pet. So you come to Magencia, you go to the cosmetic pet stone, and you have a bunch of options. There's actually 4 types of cosmetics: the legendary Cusid, then there's the non-mounts, meaning anything that is a non-mountable creature. Then there is exotic, which has its own set of rules that I'll tell you in a second. And then there is the mount, which is any mount you can put this skin on. So it'll always say if it's a mount or if it's not. And if you are not sure, you can always say view item, and it will tell you in the description. Works on any pet that is not rideable or rideable, depending on what the pet is. So if you have a legendary Cusid, you can actually change it into any of the 5 Cusids. Here, I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so that is now a legendary Cusid. I'm going to need to tame that, because if you try to use something on something you don't own, it says this is not your pet. Obviously, that would be a really weird thing to do otherwise, right? So let's go ahead and tame it. Okay, so that is now our pet. I've put these far enough away so they don't kill each other. And we are going to go ahead and... All right. So it says, do you want it to look like the Malamute, the Russian Terrier, the Great Dane, which it already is, the Newfoundland, or the Rottweiler, or the St. Bernard? We'll go with the Malamute. And poof, just like that, it is now transmogrified, and your legendary Cusid is the skin that you wanted. We figured that since there were so many options for the Cusid, we would allow people to, once they get their legendary, transmog it to the skin that they wanted. This is also very similar to how OSI does it. We just do it a little bit differently with our legendary system. Now let's check out a normal pet like a Nausea. So we're going to go ahead and tame this. Okay, since we have the Nausea and we want to look at a non-mount pet, why don't we go ahead and pick the Ant Queen? So we'll go ahead and buy that. There is the Ant Queen in our pack, and it is the cosmetic, not mount. And let's go ahead and double click it and applied. And there it is. It'll say transmogrified on the bottom, and that is now your pet. Your pet looks like this. And we do have it so you can shrink them, and they will look just like they should. So it's a really cool system. It allows a lot more diversity in your pets while also maintaining your own, unique sense of style. This is designed as endgame customization, and the cost is intentionally high to preserve rarity. You want someone to be working towards this, just like a house or anything like that. For a tamer, a pet is like an extension of their entire gameplay. So this is extremely important. You cannot transmog any astrals, as they are iconic, because when you mount them, they look different than when they are following you. And we didn't want to mess with that. So astrals are the only pets that cannot be transmogrified. So let's talk about exotics. So if you come over here and you scroll to an exotic. So let's say the Lasher mount. So this is Charlie, the Lasher. Okay. So if we say view item, this is going to explain what happens. So this is a mount that needs to be charged by consuming an existing real pet. More on the wiki. On the wiki, it will explain to you that basically you need to go and complete the Charlie encounter and tame an actual Charlie. Then once you have done that, then you can go ahead and buy one of these. All right. So I have bought a Charlie exotic. Tells you there as well. So I need a Charlie pet because I cannot. So let's say I tame this dragon here. I cannot just apply it. And it says this pet is not valid to charge this cosmetic. And when you drag over it, it says status not charged. Now, if we go ahead and add a Charlie. Okay, so we have a Charlie now. And if we tame it, we can double click the Charlie Lasher pet cosmetic, and it absorbs the Charlie, turns green, and now it's charged. So I can go to the pet that I intended it to look like Charlie with, And let's say it's this dragon. So GM tame this. Double click it. Oh, that's actually important for you to see. The dragon is not rideable, therefore you cannot use a rideable pet cosmetic on the dragon. And it tells you there in red. So let's go to the horse. Let's release this little guy. We're taming this horse, and now we're going to apply the Charlie Lasher charged pet cosmetic. And there it is, a horse transmogrified into Charlie, and works perfectly. So this is an early look at our transmog system. We do have a lot of plans for the pet cosmetics. This is just the start. We're going to add more and more and more. We are going to make it so that there's different ways to charge them. You know, with the whole thing with the exotic pet is we really want to preserve their rarity and exclusivity, because you have to go through that entire, event to get it. But we figured we don't want to gate the cool looking stuff that's exotic. So as long as you've completed it and you own it, why not be able to charge one and use it? So that is exactly what we did here. And it's really simple to use. So that includes the Ancient Hellhound Charlie, the Windrunner Mount, Undead Osane Ram, the Rideable Triceratops, and the Emu Exotic, and a Spider. We will likely add the Unicorn at a later date as well. And then, yeah, it just works. So you have these nice transmogrified tags. You can have a wisp as your dragon, so you don't have to have this giant thing. Or you can have a giant robo bunny as your dragon, and it's even bigger. Or you can pick a drake for your dragon, and it looks smaller. There's so many options. And then for the legendary, being able to pick what dog you get after getting the legendary, that just saves everybody a lot of time, and it gives you more choice. And then as more creatures are added, we'll be able to add more and more unique cosmetics to this system. And it just really helps tamers to, express themselves. And we know how important that is for tamers. All of your pets, by the way, will maintain their dyes. So let's go ahead and buy a dye real quick. Let's say you bought this glossy blue dye, okay? And you had used it on your dragon. Let's tame that dragon real quick and apply it. Okay, so it would look like that, all right? And then you went and bought a cosmetic, and you were like, I really wanted a harpy. So you bought the harpy one, and then you applied it, and look at that. It is the lovely blue hue that you had already purchased. We didn't want that to go away. The price of the cosmetics is intentionally high because it's an end game item that really helps you to work towards something, but you can get there in stages. So you can dye your pet first and not have to worry about that going away. So this is just, it's a really cool system, and we hope that you enjoy it. Let us know in Discord and on the forums with suggestions of what pets you want to see added that we don't have on the list yet. We're adding more and more every day. And yeah, it's a great way to use, especially the pets that are less used, like the Palomino, the Sabertooth, the Lion, different things like that, the Serpentine Dragon. I think there's going to be a lot of options here. You can even have a Frenzy Ostrich mount that's super powerful. So it's like you get to choose and pick things that you're going to have fun with. One of my favorites is definitely the Wisp. I think it looks fantastic. It sounds great. These also take on the sounds of what you are, transmogging it into. So it will sound like a Wisp. It will sound like a dragon. It will sound like a toad. It will sound like the Flesh Renderer. This is a really cool system. I really hope that you all enjoy it. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, feel free to subscribe. If you loved it, a like, leave a comment, let us know what you think, and we will see you in UOAlive.